I'm registered dietitian Libby Parker, and today I'm going to teach you how to tell if the research that you're looking at is any good. So with everyone and their brother having an opinion on how to eat or live a healthy lifestyle, how do you discern if information is legitimate? This video is going to go over how to evaluate if scientific research is valid and applicable to your scenario. Stay tuned. So as a professor of food science and nutrition at a college, I need to be sure that I'm teaching the next generation of students accurate, evidence-based information. And while I can do the research for them and tell them what is currently the best answer, it makes more sense for me to teach my students, and now you, how to do the research for yourself. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be specific to the subject of nutrition, but you can apply this to any scientific research that you do. It's important to remember that nutrition is a science, not an opinion, and scientific facts are allowed to change as we learn more through more advanced technology and research studies. Science is constantly evolving, so it's very smart of us to double check what are the current best practices, especially when it comes to healthcare. Now, not all research is made equally. When marketing a product or a diet plan, many people, either because they're not ethical or more often because they don't know any better, use research that's not sound. Several factors need to be considered when deciding if a product or diet plan is safe and effective. So let's review what these are. First, was the study done on humans? Many nutrition and medicine studies are first done on rats or other animals. While it's an easy way to control for variables such as diet, rats are not exactly the same as humans in regards to nutrient needs, conditions, and other factors like lifestyle needs and preferences. Make sure that the diet or product that you're researching has been tested on humans. And not only humans, but humans that are like you. Many research studies are done on humans that are done on healthy young males. So if you're female, child, elderly, or have certain health conditions, the results might not apply the same way. Next up, how many people are in the study? The larger the study size in terms of participants, the better. This is often represented as an N number. An N of 10 is much different than an N of 2,000. The more people that a study tests, the more valid the results are in applying to a general population. Once we determine that the study has a larger number of humans like us, we want to check what the study controlled for. The gold standard type of research to validate a hypothesis or educated guess of what the outcome will be is a double-blind randomized controlled trial, or RCT for short. A randomized controlled trial has at least two groups of participants, one of which will receive the treatment in question, and the others receive a control treatment that does not have the active ingredient or other factor present, but is otherwise indistinguishable from the test group. This is often referred to as a placebo. I have a paper on the placebo effect that you can read for more information. I'm going to put that link in the description below this video. The randomized part of the randomized control trial refers to the participants being randomly assigned to either the control or the treatment group. Make sure that the control makes sense for what the treatment is. For instance, if you're looking for the effects of a high fiber diet, make sure the treatment group has a specific level of fiber they must eat every day, and the control has a specific amount to stay below, and that the researchers are making sure this actually happens. So how are they checking that it actually happens? Are they providing all of the food? Do the participants have access to foods that are not provided or allowed in the study? How are they held accountable? And how are the researchers measuring the effects of the dietary intervention? Are they looking at blood markers, reduction in symptoms? Is it a result that can be objectively measured? So the double blind refers to participants and researchers not knowing who is getting the treatment and who is getting the control or placebo. By doing this, we take out any influence that the perception of getting the proposed active treatment versus the control gives. Because science is constantly updating, it's also important to look at when the research was done. The most valid studies are typically the most recent, as the most recent research has previous research to build on. But older research can be valid if done appropriately. Usually we want to look for research published in the last 5 to 10 years in a reliable peer-reviewed scientific journal. You can research sites like PubMed for peer-reviewed journals. Now for the researchers themselves, check that they're qualified for the research that they're doing. Is this their field of study? Typically, researchers have degrees in their correlating field or have worked in a field for a while, or they're associated with a research facility that specializes in that area. So for a study on diet, I expect a registered dietitian and/or someone with at least a master's degree in nutrition science or public health to be leading the study. For a study on a new drug or how to treat a disease, I would expect a medical doctor to be the lead researcher. So regardless of their credentials and academic affiliations, you should also look for any potential biases of the researchers or the group funding the study. In my personal opinion, the least biased studies come out of research institutions that are educational or research focused and not from special interest group like a food company. Biases can sway how a report is written. And while we all have personal biases, you can't argue with hard facts, but you can try to cover them up with fancy language or omissions to portray what you want to be true. So watch for that. Lastly, do a gut check. After reading the article or advertisement, how do you feel about it? Does it seem legitimate? Does it feel shady or have too many missing factors? While this is not an objective step in validating the research, it can catch some things that just don't feel right. Remember, there's no miracle or magic bullets out there for diet or weight loss, so if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Health and diet doesn't need to be difficult or overanalyzed. There's no superfood that's going to make all your problems go away, but there are healthier ways of eating than others. So I hope you found this video to be helpful for becoming a more health-literate consumer. If you don't want to do all the research, keep watching my videos and consider working with me one-on-one or checking out my online educational courses and let me do the research for you. You can access my courses or get in contact with me through the links in the description below this video. If you like this video, please click that subscribe button below and share with a friend. I'll see you next time.